Today, we're gonna do something a little bit different and see if it's true what they say, that the Infographics show audience is the smartest on YouTube by testing your intelligence with a series of puzzles. While these puzzles don't usually come with video, we're hoping the visual cues might be helpful. We should tell you that none of these questions have outrageous answers, and you should be able to find the solution by employing practical wisdom. The best thing to do would be to listen to the puzzle and then pause the video while you try and come up with a solution. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes and put what you think is the answer in the comments, but no cheating. We'll know if you do. And if you just don't know the answer, then that's okay, just move on to the next one. We'll give you the solution after we've asked the question. We'll start with the easiest ones to get you warmed up, and we'll leave the hardest until last. Let's get started. The light switch problem. Okay, so here's the scene. You have a big problem. You're being kept against your will in a room by people who are basically a bit sadistic. They're going to give you a problem to solve, and if you can't do it, they're going to kill you. The problem is you're in a room far from another room you have to get to. To get to this other room, you have to walk down a winding corridor. In that other room, there's a light bulb. In the room where you're sitting with these guys, there are 3 light switches, switches A, B, and C. One of them turns on the light, and only one. You can do what you want with these switches, turn them all on and off, whatever you want. But when you get to the light bulb room, you must be able to say which switch, A, B, or C, turns on the light bulb. Remember, this room is far away. You cannot see any light at all from where the switches are. Also, remember, if you do something like turn all the switches on, you won't be able to say which switch turned the light on. Once you reach the bulb room, you can never go back to the switches. Okay, so think about it, and we'll come back with the answer. Did you get it? The way not to die is pretty simple, really. First, you turn on switch A and leave it on for about 15 minutes, then you turn it off. After that, you turn on switch B and leave it on. Then you walk down to the room. If the light is on, it was switch B, of course. If it's not on, you feel the bulb. Is it warm? If so, it was switch A. If it's cold and off, the answer is switch C. The elevator guy. Okay, so there's this guy who lives in an apartment building. Each day, he comes down from floor 10 and goes to work. On the days when others are in the elevator, when he comes home from work, he goes directly to his floor, no problem. But on the days when it's quiet, he only goes to floor 7 and then he walks up the stairs the rest of the way. On some occasions, when it's rainy, he also has gone right up to floor 10. The question is, why does he sometimes only go to floor 7 and walk the rest of the way? The simple answer is that this guy is very short and he can only reach as high as the button to floor 7. When it rains, he has his umbrella, so he can hit the floor 10 button with it. The fortune. A very rich father in the Middle East is going to die, but before he dies, he tells his 2 sons that they will compete by riding a camel each to a city. The camel that gets to the city slowest wins. Yeah, you heard that right. It's the camel that comes in last that wins. What you think would happen, happens. As these brothers don't want to win, they just end up riding around in the desert and not really going anywhere. It seems kind of futile, as none of them wants to reach the city. But then they meet a wise man, and that wise man tells them something. The brothers listen, and suddenly they both head to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise man say? The wise man said to them, switch camels. The reason, of course, is that they're now riding each other's camel, and so they want to win as their camel will be the slowest and they'll inherit the fortune. Bankruptcy. Okay, you might hate us for this one, but at least it's short. A man pushes his car to a hotel, and when there, he tells the owner of that hotel that he's bankrupt. Why? The answer is, he's playing the game Monopoly. Running. A man left home running. He ran for a bit and turned left, and then he ran for a bit more and turned left again, and then he ran the same distance again and turned left. When he got home, there were 2 masked men waiting for him. Why? The answer is he was playing baseball, and the men were the catcher and the umpire. The amazing dog. This one is a bit more obvious because the last ones were somewhat difficult. A man is standing on one side of the river and his dog is on the other side of the river. The man calls his dog, and within a short amount of time, the dog is at his side. The only thing is, the dog is not wet and he made it across without the use of a boat or anything else to float on. How did the dog do it? The river was frozen, of course. Here's a riddle for you. I am the beginning of sorrow and the end of sickness. You cannot express happiness without me, yet I'm in the midst of crosses. I'm always in risk, yet never in danger. You may find me in the sun, but I'm never out of darkness. What am I? We guess this was easy for you. The answer is the letter S. The thing. The person who makes this thing will never use it. The person who buys it has absolutely no use for it. The person who does use it doesn't even know who he or she is. What is the thing? It's a coffin. A bad day at the bar. You and your friend are at a bar and you order a drink. Your friend got the same drink as you, but on this occasion, you're really thirsty and you drank 5 of those drinks really fast. Then after that, your friend, still on his first drink, drops down dead. You find out the drinks were poisoned, but you had 5 of those things and your friend only had 1. How come it was him that died? The answer is that it was the ice that was poisoned. You drank the drink so fast that the ice didn't have time to melt into the drink. On the other hand, the ice totally melted for your slow-drinking buddy. The dead girl. A girl is lying on the floor below a 5-story apartment building. The people around seem to be thinking she must have jumped to her death. A detective then arrives on the scene and decides to go into the building. He walks up to the 2nd floor and opens a window and flips a coin from that window. He then goes to each other floor and does exactly the same. He then comes down and says this woman did not take her own life. How did he know? The answer to this one is in the details. He had to open that 2nd floor window and then he did the same on the other floors. That means she couldn't have jumped. The ship. A captain of a Japanese ship has taken off his ring and put it on his table. He then goes outside and when he comes back, his ring is gone. There could only have been 3 men who could have taken the ring, so the captain asks them for an alibi. The first man says he was in the kitchen preparing dinner and couldn't have taken the ring. The second man said he was outside fixing the flag because someone had hung it upside down. The last man said he was in the engine room. Now, the captain knows it was the second man. How? A Japanese flag is a red circle in a white square and it can't be hung upside down, and so that man was lying. We guess you all got that one. The boxers. 2 boxers are in a fight, and we're talking normal boxing and not boxing with kicking or takedowns involved. They go at it like crazy, and then in the 8th round, one of the boxers gets totally knocked out. The thing is though, no man threw even 1 punch. How come a boxer got knocked out then? We are guessing you got this one too. The boxers weren't men, they were women. The song. A poor man walks into a bar and there he finds a rich man. He starts chatting with this man and tells him he knows every song in the world. The poor man then says that he can find a song with any name in it that the rich man can think of. The rich man laughs, but seeing that his interlocutor is poor, he tells him, okay, find a song with my daughter's name in it. If he can do that, he'll give him all the money in his wallet, which is about $1,000. Her name is Juliet Alexandria Tomchinsky. After a short while, the poor man walks out of the bar with the rich guy's $1,000. How come? The answer is the song Happy Birthday. The billiard balls. You're looking at 7 billiard balls and they all look the same except one of those balls is slightly lighter than all the others. You have a scale and you need to know which ball weighs less, but you can only use the scale twice. How do you find which ball is lighter? First, you take 6 balls and separate them into 2 groups of 3. You put 3 on each side of the scale. Obviously, if the scale is equal, then the lighter ball is the 7th ball you held back. But let's say one part of the scale is lighter. Now you know one of those 3 balls on that side is the lighter one. Then just weigh any 2 of those 3 balls against each other. If the scale is balanced, then the lighter ball is the one you held back. If not, the scale will tell you which is the lighter ball. The gangsters. Right here is the hardest one and we imagine no one will get it. So there's this undercover cop and he wants to get inside an underground club so he can infiltrate a gang. Only to get into this club you must know the secret code. You can't just walk in. The cop then sets up a microphone and a camera close to the door to the club. He does this when no one's around, of course. With that setup, he starts to watch. The next evening, he sees a rather dangerous looking man walk up to the door. A little shutter opens and the guy inside says 12, to which the gangster replies 6. A bit later, and another gangster walks up to the door, and the man behind the shutter says 6, and the gangster replies 3. The cop's then confident about how to get in. When he walks up to the door, the man behind the shutter says 10, and so the cop knowingly answers 5. He then sees a gun pointed at him. What went wrong? The cop assumed that the code was just having the number 12 to 6 and 6 to 3, but that wasn't the case at all. The gangsters were actually saying how many letters were in the word. Okay, the last one. We think it's best to finish with something quite easy, and then we'll leave you feeling good about yourself. A man and a woman were having an argument about a barrel of wine. The man keeps telling the woman that the barrel is more than half full. The woman disagrees. She says the man is an idiot because anyone could tell by looking in the barrel that it's less than half full. The question we want to ask you is this: how could the man and woman know for sure who is right without using any kind of tools and without removing any of the wine from the barrel? The answer is this: you tip the barrel on its side until the wine touches the lip of the container. After that, you look inside. If you can see the bottom of the barrel, it's less than half full. If you can't see the bottom, it's more than half full. That's the end of the argument. Now, go watch What Are the Weirdest Unsolved Internet Mysteries and see if your puzzle-solving skills can help solve some real-life mysteries. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.